Hey everybody, Mr. Fay here. So we're gonna get started on lesson 7. So go to your packet and find lesson 7. And I'm not gonna be on video because I want to show you guys the work I'm gonna be doing on paper. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so let's get started on lesson number 7. Equivalence with multiplication. I'll try to keep the paper in place as much as possible. So, do you remember how to multiply algebraic terms in an expression? So remember, when you're multiplying variables with exponents, just add the exponents of the same variable together. For example, we have here x squared times x is equal to x cubed, okay? Not 3x, not 2x, nothing like that. So you're just adding the exponents together. So pause the video and try these problems. All right. So hopefully you pause the video and you try this. So let's go through these. So the first one, 2 times 2 is 4, right? Let me make this a little bigger. X times x is going to be x squared. 2x times 2x. So 2 times 2 is 4. And x times x is x squared. This one we have 2x squared times 3x. So 2 times 3 will be 6. And then x squared times x is going to be x cubed. Okay? And then this one, hopefully you guys remember how to do this. So this, you have to distribute the 2x to each of these terms. So first you're going to do 2x times 3x, which is going to be 6x squared, because 2 times 3 is 6. X times x is x squared. And then you have 2x times 2 is going to be, because these two are positive, it's going to be positive, right? Plus 2 times 2 is 4. And then x times, there's no x over there, it's just going to be the x left. Okay, so 2 times x, we have 4x. All right. Now, for this one, write as many expressions as you can that are equivalent to 6x squared plus 4x. I'm going to give you one example, and then you guys can find some more. So, one example would be 2x. What do you think comes next? Times 3x plus 4x. Why? Because 2x times 3x is going to be equal to 6x squared. And then you have plus 4x left. Okay? So this is equivalent to this. They're equal. Now, try to find some more. There are other examples you can give of expressions that are equivalent to this one. Okay? This one, I'm not going to give you the answer. So which of the following is equivalent to 3x plus 9? I'm sure you can figure that out. And then create a problem using multiplication that will simplify to 2x squared plus 15x for this one. So this one is going to be very similar to what you did here. Okay? Now, just read through this part of the lesson. Make this a little smaller. So you have this problem. You're making a walkway around part of a swimming pool. Okay, the dimensions of the swimming pool and walkway are shown in a diagram. So here you have the swimming pool, and right on this edge you have a walkway. So the question is, what is the length of the pool plus the sidewalk? So right here. So this plus is a hint of something that you need to do. And then what is the width of the pool plus the sidewalk? Okay, think about here, and this is another important word, plus. So you're gonna write a polynomial that represents the area of the swimming pool. Think about how you can find the area of a rectangle, okay? So this is a rectangular shape. How do you find the area of a rectangle? So look that up, and it's a big help on how you're gonna solve this problem. Now, I don't expect you to be able to solve this yet. If you do, excellent. But we're gonna come back to this at the end of the lesson. So let's go to page 2. And these are already filled in for you, but let's just read through it really quick. So when you have a binomial times a binomial, okay? So we're multiplying polynomials. So 2 terms times 2 terms. So each of the 2 terms in the first binomial is multiplied by each of the 2 terms in the second binomial. We can multiply them in any order as long as each of the first 2 terms gets multiplied by each of the second 2 terms, okay? But there is a handy way to help us remember to multiply each term called FOIL. Now, if this sounds like a bunch of blah, blah, blah to you, I'm going to explain, so don't worry. So FOIL stands for first, outer, inner, and last, okay? So here's an example. Let's do this together. So this is a binomial because it has 2 terms, and this is another binomial, okay? So when we say multiplying 2 binomials, that's what it means. It looks like this. So let's do this example together. First, you're going to multiply the firsts. So this one and this one together. So x times x is going to give you x squared. Then you're going to multiply the outers. So this one and this one. Okay, so we're going to multiply the outers. X times 3 is going to be positive 3x. Then we're going to multiply the inners. Okay, so this one times this one. So 1 times x is just 1x, or just x. And then we're going to multiply the lasts together. So this one times this one. So 1 times 3 is going to, so positive 1 times positive 3 is going to be positive 3. Now the last thing you need to do is just combine like terms. So there's nothing else but that x squared over there. So just keep it like that. And then you have these 2 that are like terms. 3x plus x. So this is going to be plus 4x and plus 3. And that is your final answer. If you didn't get it, just go back again and replay this part of the video, okay? So now you're going to try this one and this one. And just now pause the video and try these 2. All right, so if you try these 2, the answer for one of them is going to be x squared plus 9x plus 20. And the other answer is going to be d squared minus 2d minus 8. Okay? All right, so now let's multiply 2 terms by 3 terms, or a binomial times a trinomial. Okay? So the FOIL method won't work here because there are more terms now. But just remember, multiply each term in the first polynomial by each term in the second polynomial. Okay, so I have here the example written out on how you need to do that, but I'm going to show you really quick. So first you're going to multiply. So just take this term first, multiply by each of these terms. Then you take this term, multiply by each of these terms. And then you combine like terms, and you have your answer. So when you multiply t times t squared, what do you got? I hope you got that right. It's going to be t cubed. Then you multiply t times 2t. It's going to be positive 2t squared. Then you're going to multiply t times negative 3, which is going to be negative 3t. Now you move to this term, the positive 2, the plus 2. So plus 2 times t squared is going to be positive 2t squared. Then you have 2 times 2t is going to be 4t, plus 4t. And then you multiply 2 times negative 3. Be careful here. So 2 times negative 3 is going to be negative 6, because a positive times a negative is going to be negative. Now that you have this, just combine like terms and you have your answer. Move the paper here. So there's only 1t cubed. And then you have plus 2t squared plus 2t squared. So combine those two, you have plus 4t squared. You use that. Now you have plus 4t minus 3t. So plus 4t minus 3t is going to be just t, positive t. And last but not least, you have that negative 6 by itself. Just write it down, negative 6. And that's your answer for example 2. Pause the video and try this one on your own, okay? All right, so now that you try that one, if you did try that one, the answer is going to be t cubed plus 7t squared plus 6t minus 18. Okay? All right, so we're almost done here. Now, this is another method that you can use to solve these problems. Okay? It's called the box method, or you can call it a table. Some of you might know this as the array model or the array method. So let's see how we set this up. This might be easier. So here we have r squared minus 2r plus 3, and then you have 2r plus 1. Okay, so what you're going to do is set up a table, a box, for each of these terms. So for this one, I'm going to build a column. So r squared, then I have negative 2r, and then I have positive 3. Okay, so I have 3 boxes going down. And I have 2 over here because I have 2 terms. I have 2r and I have positive 1. So that's why you have 2 boxes right here. Okay. Now, you multiply each of these together. So 2r times r squared is going to be 2r cubed. 2r times negative 2r is going to be negative 4r squared. And then you have, oh, there's one missing here. And then you have 2r times 3 is going to be equal to what? That's right. It's going to be equal to 6r. Okay. Now here I have 1 times r squared is just r squared. And then 1 times negative 2r is negative 2r. 1 times 3 is 3. Now, combine these like term and you have your answer. So I have 2r cubed. So write it down. Then for r squared, I have this one and this one. So that's going to be negative 4r squared plus r squared is going to be negative 3r squared. Okay, right there. So you use those two. And then you have this one and this one. So negative 2r plus 6r is going to be positive 4r. You use those. And then the last number left is 3. So this is your answer. Okay? If you have any questions, just If you're not clear, go back and rewatch this part of the video. Okay, now pause the video and try this one on your own. All right, now that you try this, the answer for this one should be 2w cubed minus 6w minus 20w minus 12. All right, so this is what I had to teach you. So now go ahead and practice these problems. You can use whatever method you want, okay? Then go to the next page. So here, the pool problem is back on the last page of lesson number 7. And you have to find the area of the swimming pool plus the sidewalk, okay? So remember, you're setting up two binomials. So let me set this up, and then you can solve it. And then this one, you're gonna this problem, you're gonna do this on your own. It's the challenge problem. So here, so what is the length of the pool plus the sidewalk? So the length is right here. So it's going to be x plus 12. And then what is the width of the pool plus the sidewalk? It's going to be x plus 10. Okay? Now, write a polynomial that represents the area of the sidewalk plus the swimming pool. So think about how you find the area of a rectangle. So to find the area of a rectangle, you would multiply the length by the width, okay? So since this is the length and this is the width, you multiply these two together. X plus 12, and then x plus 10. Now, if you use the tools that you learn on this lesson, you can easily solve this problem, okay? Now here, the challenge problem, it's kind of the same problem, but just as a hint, instead of it involving addition, it's gonna involve some subtraction, okay? So I'll let you work this out, and if you have any questions, please contact your teacher, and we'll definitely help you out, okay? So thank you again. Again, this is lesson number 7, and I hope everyone is doing well. Take care.